time it is. It's another Friday Night Live Q&A where we sit down, we talk about keeping aquariums, freshwater mostly because I still haven't dabbled in salt yet. One day, one day. But my specialty is freshwater, so this is a good place to come in, ask your questions. Do this every Friday Night Live, and I thought I would do it a little different. We have been going a vertical live for quite some time. Algorithm, YouTube. It was really rewarding people for those who did that. So I was gaining a lot of subscribers off that. Now, I don't know if it's because I got into it with tech support or whatnot about how they would leave, like, so you set a thumbnail up for your live video, but what they would do is just take some random shot, and then that is what would come up when you would search my name, and it looks so unprofessional. And I tried to be professional about telling them that. Well, let me say, ever since I had that conversation with them, the verticals have not been working for me. I haven't been getting that advantage for it and for doing the YouTube lives like that. But so here we are in horizontal mode. Many of you guys have been wanting to do horizontal for quite some time, so if it's not going to be at my advantage to do the verticals, it makes no sense for me to do it. So I'll ramble on until you guys have questions. Good to see you all in here. Hello, hello. Glad to see you. So I don't know what is going on, but very, very light in here right now. 23 people. I can't believe that. So maybe YouTube really doesn't like doing the horizontal anymore because that is way low. Usually around here, at least a couple minutes in, we'd be hitting 50 or something plus up to 100. Dean Stevenson, I did see that email, and I'll definitely hit you up about those eggs. And excited about that. But I am got a head start for you guys this week so I will have a video for you Saturday. I will have a video for you this Sunday. And I'm excited to share them with you. Hope you guys enjoy them. Man, trying to catch you guys up with that content. I feel like I've been doing a good job. If you guys haven't been on the channel for a while, go back. Look at the videos I've been dropping out. I've been doing at least a couple of weeks for you guys. Carrie Britton, good to see you in here, buddy. Says, what up, Lucas? I'm here, bro, on the mower, cutting the property down. I got to do that, too. It's about that time myself. Says, how's the training? Training is going good. You know, just going through the day, really. As far as, like, the whole Fence and Fury thing, like, I mean, I'm pretty ready for that. Like, any training's kind of, like, extra right now. I mean, you could always get better, faster, stronger. Wolf HVAC says, how's the wasp fist? It's healed now. We're all good. Even though I was kind of liking the swollenness of it. I was like, man, if I could just keep that swole for like the whole time, that'd be all right. But actually, having those thick hands like that, it kind of, my style, it's a little different. I'm real sharp. Oh, and if you guys didn't know, I guess it's only been 7 days since it's been talked about, but Fins and Fury, I'm going to be battling King of DIY and old Art of Fisticuffs, and he's going down. He's going down. But I'll have more for you guys on that. We'll have some fun with it. I put out a nice, fun little short where I had got stung by, like, it was like at least 6 wasp stings on my arm, and it was just swollen. But my arm was all jazzed up from it all. Had the punching power of God. And yes, we do promote multiple question marks if you like to do that. There you go, Jupiter 1. You get it. You get it. That way I can just see them easier. Because there's a lot I try to speed read through here. Jupiter 1 says, are the fish room tanks getting full or still mostly empty of fish? So they are getting pretty full. I do have some that I keep empty because what I have taken outside, eventually I'm going to have to bring in. So I do got to be real careful for that. But I've got babies galore everywhere, and I'm hoping to catch you guys up soon to where I could get a fish room tour in, at least before the Fins and Fury thing comes. Just because I feel like it's been a while since we've really done that, and really hoping to get the internet out there. If I can get the internet out there, we can be doing stuff like all day out there. It's just hard to do. Like, there's a lot of live streams I would like to do with you guys, just talking about things and whatnot. But it's hard to do in the house when you got somebody else who's working, and then also a kid that likes to play. You know, I can't just always be like, hey, everybody be quiet. I want to go live, you know. But once I get the internet in the barn, which they've got the fiber optic laid down, it's just, we still haven't had the green light yet for they're ready. Well, hopefully soon. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping to show you guys a lot more of what's been going on in the fish barn, because I mean, it's all pretty good stuff. The only bad thing is my pumps have quit working on me, so I haven't really been doing water changes, but it's not like affecting anything really. Now I would like it for, like, I've got this tank with like hundreds of Lucipinus babies in it. It's good to do water changes on those just to grow them out quicker. So I don't know. I got a lot I've been working on and dealing with as well behind the scenes, trying to get things all prepped and ready for the Fins and Fury, and just try to organize things around here. It's been a real pain. And I'm torn right now between my low boys, my 50-gallon low boys, whether I should take them down. I've got the 75s to put them in their space. But like I said, I had all those Synodontis lucipinus babies, which are like tiny little catfish. They're about like yay big now. They get like pretty huge. But I've got like hundreds of them. And I think they would be really cool to see in that low boy. But I really need to get those 75s up so I can finish that wall. But there's a lot of things coming out for the fish room soon. It's just we've been working a lot with the summer tubbing lately. So we had to get ready for that. So I'm catching you guys up on what's been going on outside mostly, which a lot has been going on out there as well. Jackson says I'm currently, and a big reason why a lot of my fish tanks were empty previously is because I was busy building a fish room. A lot of people don't realize how much work it takes to create something like that, to build all that without having other people do it for you. And on top of everything else, life brings you a family, all that stuff. But anyways, it's harder to like focus on breeding whenever you're trying to build that stuff. Now this stuff is built, like there's been so much more focus to breeding, which I'll catch you guys up on. And we'll catch up on like philosophy videos and share with you guys deep thoughts from LRB. Let's see. Scroll Jackson says, I'm currently setting up a small fish room with 3 55-gallon, 1 30-gallon, 7 20 talls, 8 10-gallons, and looking for stocking ideas that I can breed. Also, how many species do I have room for to actually breed? So I believe that it takes at least, not that I believe, I know it takes at least 3 tanks to really breed out a species. So usually use the 3 tank rule, because you're gonna have a fry, a juvenile, and then the breeders that you're gonna want to deal with. Now you could use like temporary things for fry, which kind of opens up more of your tanks. But you know, that ends up adding more space with little containers trying to do fry in them, and then putting them in their tanks. So take whatever your total is, divide it by 3. That should tell you how many species you can really work with. Now, if you're good at comboing fish, you can do some of your breeders in a community holding tank, and then take them out for when you do want to breed them, and then that could open up some tanks as well. So it all depends on how you organize your fish and how you work them. That can change a variable to that formula I was giving you. And then as far as what to breed, you got to breed what you enjoy, what you like. You got to learn to market. I can't tell you everything. Because really, a lot of people like different fish. And some people just want to make a quick buck. Some people do it for the passion of the fish. Maybe do a combo of both if you need to, if that's what you're really trying to do. But think about what you like and then go from there and try to learn the market on it. The best way to learn the market on it is by reverse searching it. Like try to buy it yourself, which you should be doing anyways to get your breeders at some point. And when you do get your breeders, be mindful about the etiquette of breeding to the point that like you ain't continuously breeding brothers and sisters on down the line. You get some genetics from other places. Try to pick them up when you can. And it makes a big difference down the road. So you don't have to, like you know that the stuff that you're given is healthy and strong. You don't have to worry about so much. Alex Bradbury, good to see you in here, buddy. Says, hey, LRB, long term, are you going to do more permanent ponds for grow outside, for grow out to expand your business, and are you going to do Daphnia outside? So I do have a lot of tanks outside that keep Daphnia and mosquito larvae. Matter of fact, I keep probably half of my aquarium garden, most of my aquarium garden out there, fishless, just so I can fish that stuff out. To like feed my other pond stuff to get them like real breed ready, because Daphnia mosquito larva, huge trigger for breeding fish. And yeah, I want to do a lot more permanent ponds out there, but I really got to like everything's working good now, but the sun's real hot. I would like to keep dragonflies out. I would like to keep frogs out just for like the future. So I feel like I got to build certain things to really get too crazy with it. Matter of fact, the video that you guys will be seeing this weekend will show you a bit of kind of what I'm doing out there. So stay tuned for, I believe, Sunday's video it will be. And Carrie Britton again says, got 600 rainbows for you here in the fall. Hey, any downside to mosquito larvae or things to watch for? So if you're keeping them outside and trying to raise them up, mosquito larvae is good for that. You don't have to worry about them. Dragonfly larvae can be kind of a pain because they can eat fish. But I have learned how to deal with them. I'll be making a video about that here soon for you guys too. Because, I mean, I was battling them there for a while, and then I'm like, all right, I gotta, like, come to terms with nature here and, like, figure them out, and I got them figured out now. JP Jeffries says, hey, Lucas, can it hurt your fish to feed unthawed food? You know, I don't know if, like, that cold messes with their belly or, like, they get a brain freeze or something. I ain't really thought about that, but that's something to think about because it does have an effect. Because out in the wild, like, they're not going to get anything ice cold like that at all. And the gut biome is very important to fish and us. Christian B says, hey, Lucas, so how do you control biofilm in a filterless setup? So somebody asked me the other day if I had a lot of biofilm on my tanks, and believe it or not, 99% of my tanks have no biofilm. Really, the only tank that I know that has biofilm on it is my axolotl tank. And I think that's because they probably have a lot thicker slime coat, beefier body, and they create a lot of protein. So that protein, that film on top of your tank is usually an issue. But I think now that my tanks are mature, there's enough microorganisms in there that I don't have protein films at all in any of my tanks. So if you do have protein film in your filterless fish tank, you know, just I wouldn't stress it too much. If it's brand new, you know, you're going to just have to let the microorganisms take their time to develop, which will, you know, it could take a few months. But after that, like, the system will start balancing itself out. The more the microorganisms can start doing what they need to do, and then you just won't have to worry about biofilm. So you don't have to sit there and battle it. I used to battle it with paper towels and stuff when I used to do the fancy aquascape tanks. I would get like paper towel and brush the biofilm off, or like I would dose like Melifix, like just a little drop to break it up. But it would always come back, because what was happening was the microorganisms weren't wanting to eat it after you drop that. Like, yeah, it would break it up for that moment, but then it would come right back because just the microbiology wasn't balanced, because I was dosing things that I didn't like. So, yeah, I don't really deal with biofilm anymore. Lord Red Fat Killer says, recently bought some yellow and red shrimp and killifish from you. Love them. Really been eyeing those black cories. Curious if you really like those. Well, thank you so much for your support and your orders. I absolutely love those black cories, and they are all black. Like, they're solid black cories. I probably got like 30 tops left, if that. But they're neat in a school, real cool. I like them. I mean, what's not to like about cory cats? Really, any cory cats. Just the way they school and keep, they're neat in a group. Do they show well? Yeah, definitely if you get like a white substrate or a lighter color substrate, they show real good. Of course, if they were like dark, it would be more of like a hidden kind of fish. Like if you had a group of them, you would like see the bottom of the substrate kind of moving. It'd almost make you be like, oh, what's going on down there? Like, why is your substrate moving? So I would think either way, they would be kind of cool in their own regard. Just depending on how you want to display them. Because I don't know, I'm the kind of guy, I've always liked that like mystery fish. Like you're looking into the tank, like, yeah, you see your showy fish here and there, but it's like, ooh, what's that fish in the corner? Or what's this fish in here? Like, kind of, where's Waldo? I've always kind of treated tanks like, where's Waldo? Where I always liked having like these little hidden things in there. Outside and Aquatic says, wait, did you say you were going to drop some philosophy videos? Indeed. I think in a lot of my videos I tend to. I mean, maybe not as much lately, just because it's more of like build this and show and go. But yeah, we'll get deeper in the thoughts. Like, there's a lot of my Friday night live streams that, you know, have dropped a plethora of knowledge throughout the years. Good to see you in here, Adrian's Fish Room. Good day, mate. Good to see you, buddy. I don't know if I'm in live chat or not. I think I am. Oh no, I'm in top chat. If you guys don't know who Adrian is from Adrian's Fish Room, he's a dude from Australia. He's got this amazing fish room, and yeah, more than a fish room. I don't even know. Like, it's pretty cool. I think a lot of you guys may have seen it. Good to have you in here, buddy. Him and I talk quite often. Alex Bradbury says, you know, birds of a feather. Bradbury says, so what I'm hearing is you almost need to do a pond shade house to keep out the critters. What are your lowest temps where you are? So the lowest temps, that's another thing too. So I'm like torn. Like, I almost have to have like I don't want to go full greenhouse, because then it can't breathe in the heat. And I kind of want a greenhouse because it would just keep it warm enough in the winter. So lowest temps, it can get into like, what was the lowest temp? Like 20 something one time, 22.
Yeah, we got to 19 one time last year.
19 for like a night. So that's the thing about.
Hours even.
Yeah, like it'll get cold at night. Like winter is only at night down here. So usually it'll warm things up outside. So I don't know. I'm so torn. Or I just get a big, huge barn, but then that takes all the wild out of it. I love the mosquito larvae and all that naturalness the fish get and the sun too. But I also don't want to cook in a greenhouse. I've got some plans and some ideas that I want to do. It just might. I've got to figure out like the winterization part of it, how to make that like easy, but still have it open. Something a little different. But yeah, I need a shade. I need to at least put some shade cloths up. It wouldn't hurt. Like they're doing all right. It just the plants more than anything. The sun down here just nukes the plants. Excuse me. I don't know why I can't keep any plants in my water, but I just can't right now. Like the sun is just killing them. I feel like not that I feel like I know that shade would do a world of difference over it. Jupiter One says, any good expos or meetups coming up here in Florida? So I will be talking at, what is it, the Sun Coast?
Space Coast.
Oh, Space Coast.
Outside In already linked it up.
Aquarium Club. Outside In, he's on it, dude. That dude is awesome.
And Jupiter One just so happens to live on the Space Coast.
Oh, do you? Space Coast? You're a Space Coast guy? So Jupiter One, yeah. So I'll be talking, I don't know when their club meetings are, because I haven't really confirmed all that stuff, but I will be talking down there this July, which hopefully I get to knock something off my bucket list as well, because down there they have those bioluminescent bacterias in the ocean and shore, to where like you see all this blue magical water at night that's like glowing. Like I want to see that. That's been on my bucket list for a long, long time. So that would be cool. Besides that, I don't really know what else there is. Like
other Florida stuff, they're gonna wait till it's cooler.
Yeah, honestly, I don't like keep a calendar of this kind of stuff like I should. Usually Lady LRB does that kind of stuff for me, but I don't know. We got so much we've been doing around here. And a lot of the shows kind of over right now. I know like during the fall more start picking up. During the summer, I think a lot of like fish shows tend to like cool down because most people are out doing stuff. Aquariums are most popular between spring, winter, and fall. Carrie Brenton says, picking the brain tonight, dude. I have a green water tub outside. Old school picking the brain. Says, could I turkey baste the water in my fry tanks and work the same? Grass water is clean. Hashtag doing the most. Yeah, you could. I wouldn't really rely on just that green water to be feeding those fish. I don't know if that's what you're making the green water is for feeding the fish. I couldn't tell you, but I definitely wouldn't rely on just that. Like, they're really tiny, so infusorias are really good. This is why I like filterless tanks, because I just don't have to worry about it. And I'd crush up granules and just, you can get about any of your powdered foods and just crush it up small enough. Like this stuff breaks down and it gets into the water. Your fish can feed off it. Now, I thought you were making that green water for like feeding Daphne or stuff. But they may be able to eat off of it. Some of it. Because they are herbivores. I mean, omnivores. But I like personally haven't like just tried to feed baby rainbows green water, just that's it. So I can't tell you how that would really go from my experience. Hey Lucas, any experience with the Lemia Perugiae, or however you pronounce that? So I haven't kept them. I've seen them around here and there, and kind of always was half tempted to get a tank of them. But there are a lot of those Mexican live bears. They're very much similar. Sometimes they can be slow breeding, and I don't know how many babies I don't know if they're like real prolific. I don't think they're like one of those like mega prolific Mexican live bears. But they're pretty easy to breed. Give them some space, give them some guppy grass, some plants, feed them well, and give them some time, and they'll just breed out for you being a live bear. Mid 70s, 80s, it's all good. They probably can go low 60s. Cameron Lou says, hey Lucas, saw you filming using both hands. Was wondering what kind of camera you use to be able to do so, and where do you attach it? So it's my special secret spy glasses that I use. So that's what I use. I got the Ray-Ban glasses. That's how I'm able to do that. Let's see. Alex Bradbury says 22 Fahrenheit. That's like -5 Celsius. Yeah, it's pretty chilly. Branton Lightcap says chances of chili rasbora eggs and fry surviving a neo breeding tank. Lots of moss and lava rock. You know, I'm gonna say that there's a chance that they're getting eaten, because shrimp can get the taste of eggs, and you know, once they do, it's hard to tell if they do or not. But I would imagine that they do like the chili rasbora eggs. If you don't see fry, I mean, that answers your question. I'm surprised nobody said anything about my busted lip yet. Believe it or not, Wesley gave me that. Little rascal.
Did you just say my name?
I did say your name. You busted my lip. Okay. Gotta watch that, kid. Johnny Best says, I need a cheap or low cost good full spectrum light. What do you suggest? So I just use the shop lights. I don't know how big of a light that you need. Like you need a 4 foot 30 incher, 36 incher. Like if 4 foot's good for you, shop light all day. You could get them for like $20 and under sometimes. But besides that, like when it comes to the light market, I really don't know much beyond like the eBay Aqua Neats. Just because I've been balling on a budget for a while. And you know, I mean, I don't even know how many lights. There's at least 50 lights in my fish room. Like I've got a ball on a budget when you're multiplying anything by 100 or 50 or however many. And I could not believe the price of the Petco tanks. Matter of fact, I was planning on doing a whole full live stream of just ranting about aquarium tank cost and how it's not good for the hobby. Maybe we'll do that sometime like next week or this weekend. Because I had went to the Petco sale, picked up a couple tanks, and I could not believe what they were getting away with. If you guys have been and saw the Petco sale, you guys may know they do like the half off. Well, it's like full price now. It's the half off. And they want more for tanks. It was ridiculous. Dan Yan says, is there a club for Central Florida like the Orlando area? You know, that's a good question. There's not one that I could recall. There may be like a small one that like meets at somebody's house or something, but not like a bigger one that actually gets space and stuff, I don't think. Not that I can think of. I could be wrong though. I mean, I thought I knew them all, but life surprises you. Because right when you think you know it all, guess what? You don't. It's his life. Alex Bradbury says Wesley would be about the same height as King of DIY, right? Good sparring partner. You know, that's what I was thinking. Like, if I just put Wesley up and he's a good trainer. Dude's got skills, I'm telling you. You gotta watch out for him. Dun, 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 dun. 3G says, do they all have yellow on tail stand? Oh, he's talking to Stan. You got me with that question mark there. Big old red question mark, 3G. But good to see you in here, buddy. He knows I'll be reading those question marks. All right, I am at the bottom of the chat here. So if you got those questions, that's where I'm at. God, I need some water.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do. It's right there, babe. It's right there. Thank you. So, since I'm at the bottom of the chat and you guys don't have questions, I don't know if I should hang out or not. Should I just go? You guys are done with me now? Friday's over. Let me see. I don't know if there's... Oh, the website's been updated. I did put some trout goodies up on there. I always forget about the website. At least tell you guys what's on there. I'm surprised these rainbow shiners that I've had on there for like... Or no, the sailfin shiners. Excuse me. I've just been seeing a lot of videos on the rainbow shiners, wishing I had some. But I got these sailfin shiners, which are kind of like rainbow shiners, but these shiners have color like all year round. They don't just like color up just whenever they're breeding or whatever. But I have done a short, so it may have been a short or a video on them. I've been community breeding them. Really easy to breed. So they just put a rock pile in their tank, have some kind of floating plant. Like, it only takes a few to tango, like 4 or 6. I mean, you could probably do it with 2 if you had the right to. And then they'll lay the eggs in the rock pile, then babies pop up to the surface. Real easy to get the babies out. Or just leave them in there if you feed them up enough. But they have been sitting on the website for quite some time. And I think it's because I haven't really talked about them. But if you guys are interested in something different and something that'll breed pretty easy for you, those are cool. And then got the guppies up there. I don't know if I put Blue Dreams back in stock. I think I may have put some of the Blue Dreams back in stock. And then killifish. I got some killifish I need to get moved out. It's because I'm tired of feeding them. Ones that you don't normally see or get. So if you haven't been on there for a while, that, and I'm doing free shipping for orders over $100. I was like, well, if you're gonna spend $100, screw it, shipping's on me. Cause the prices are low too. Like, seriously, you can't beat my shipping prices. Even if you were to pay shipping under $100, it's like, what, 10, 12 bucks?
15 if you're on the West Coast.
Yeah, 15 if you're on the West Coast, and sometimes I end up paying, like, charges me 15, but it doesn't, it like charges you 12. So you guys on the West Coast usually get a few bucks on me. Sakana Katana says, what happened to all those Miyuki rice fish? So I've got them. I got a bunch of them. Got tons of babies of them too. Sold a lot of them. I got a whole 50-gallon lowboy breeder. There's probably like 420 longs with stragglers in them. And probably like 100 some babies outside. Spinster Sister says, do you raise blackworms? If so, what do you feed them? Do you cut them or let them breed? So when I did used to raise blackworms, I used to keep them in with my shrimp. And I think my shrimp would slice them up and then they would multiply from that. But like my shrimp and my blackworm combination was like, it was fire. And I would just feed them regular foods like tropical colored granules. I had this other like Cory cat pellet I would throw in there every once in a while. And they would just eat it from the bottom of the surface. So I'd just feed them whatever. But if you type in LRB blackworms, there's a whole video on that whole setup. And what I was doing, what I was feeding them, how it all worked. Carrie Britton says, not feeding solely green water, but would it supplement, wouldn't cause harm? No, it wouldn't cause harm. Unless you see, like, if it's, like, turning yellow, like, say it stays in there and it starts turning yellow, that can tell you that the green water is dying, which then potentially could cause ammonia. But I don't think it would be enough to, like, I don't know what kind of containers you have them in. I've never had an issue with it, like killing the fry, like the rainbow fry. I don't know if you have light on them. If you have light on them, shouldn't be too big of an issue, but if you don't, I don't know, potentially. Unless they just eat it up. If there's something, some other microbiology in there to eat whatever that is. And that's why I keep a lot of the filterless tanks. Everybody thinks I'm crazy because I keep filterless tanks. There's a lot of good reasons to why I do. Just mostly due to knowing nature and its microbiology and how it coexists with itself. Unheated No Problem says, how would you go about mounting, holding down a large piece of driftwood if you don't have space to waterlog it? So what you can do is you can get like a concrete block, you can get a tile. Some people just use like the ceramic tiles. You can get a drill bit and just drill a hole through the center of it, and also your driftwood, and then you can put like a bolt in that and screw it into that. And then you got like a nice thin base that you can put down on your aquarium. And you're gonna want like a buffer, that way you're not like scratching the bottom of your glass, which you can use like a piece of fabric or foam to put up underneath it. And then you can just put your substrate right over the top of it. Then it should hold itself down. And the more it floats, obviously, the heavier. You could always put like rocks after you do lay the base down and then put the substrate on that ceramic tile base. And if, depending on whatever you have around that is like that you can drill through. Like concrete's actually pretty easy to drill through, so is ceramic tile. And then say you have all that substrate on it, but then you got heavier rocks that still wants to float, put those heavier rocks around that base of it. And then that would hold it until it finally waterlogs. Then you could always test if it is waterlogged later by moving those rocks and seeing if it wants to float. Just move it slowly and it'll tell you if you just read it. And its behavior of what it's doing. Yeah, I'm not using UPS. I can't use UPS. USPS has always been doing me good, and I've seen so many people have issues with UPS. Ain't worth it. I've been doing this for years with like 99.9 success rate throughout the year for years and years and years. So there's an old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Stephen Smith says, I think I have detritus worms in my tank. Should I be worried? I wouldn't be worried about detritus worms. It's just food cycle kind of organisms for your tank. It's good. It's good. Good. Andy M says, what's a good first time corridor species? Honestly, probably whichever one you think looks the coolest, the one that you really want, because a lot of them, of like your regular cories that isn't like some crazy like type that isn't even a normal name, they're all about the same as far as keeping them. They're all pretty much about the same. All right, bottom of the chat. That's where we're at. Can't believe I'm hitting the bottom of the chats these days. It's kind of crazy. Johnny Best says you talk about everything more than what's on your website, and or give us more tips and tricks. Oh, about what to talk about if I ain't got questions? I don't know. It's Friday, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long week. Been a hot week. I tell you, it's just been cooking. The heat has been taking it out of me this week. I don't know. I don't want to struggle to think about what to say. But I don't know. What is it even like? I got my Yellow King Kongs on the website. I got my Tangerine Tigers on the website people been sleeping on. All kinds of plants. Everything's homegrown, homebred. Quality, high quality H2O organisms or pets, whatever you want to call them. My babies. So you better treat them well. If you're gonna buy my stuff, you better give them a good home. Jackson says, "What's your favorite fish at the moment?" My favorite fish? God, that's so hard. I can never pick favorite fish. I can't even pick favorite types at all. Like all down the board, there's so many fish I just absolutely love and adore. Spinster Sister says, "Do you still have stock of the lazuri guppies from California?" I do. I have all those and more now. I have not offered them, but I do have the lazuri. Lazur, however you pronounce them. I need to get those more organized to see what I really got. I've got a few of the types from there that could probably release a few of them. I had people emailing me in the background that was wanting those, and I think I'm caught up with those. So I might have some for the website at some point, but I would say probably not within like the next couple weeks that I would get to putting them on there. I do got some red luminatus rainbow fish I need to get up there too. Maybe I'll try to make it a thing this week to hit up more of that organization of getting my fish ready for y'all. Even though there's a ton on the website right now. Granted, it's not like a lot of these big guys that are just flipping fish that have like all the fish. But, these are high quality fish that aren't just from the farm that's been put through hell. These are good genes, good ethics on breeding them, all that stuff, healthy, homebred, homegrown. And you can't beat my plants. Like, I see the stuff people sell online as far as plants, forget about it. Half the stuff that's offered out there, I would not even buy. Just how it's grown, how it's sold. You're not even buying an aquatic plant. You're buying an aquatic plant. You're buying a plant that can go aquatic. That's not even truly aquatic at the time. And you have to transition. Like, the transitions do work with some people, but don't even get me started on, like, I'm not trying to hate on people's stuff, but God, I see a lot of the stuff that people are selling, like, people are eating it up too, like, nom, this is good plants, these are good plants. I'm just like shaking my head, no, I'm better. Evergreen Sykes says, "Okay, do you have any fish that you hate or don't like?" Oh, so a fish that I hate and don't like. One of my arch nemesis was this like golden, what was it? It's not Chinese algae eater. That's what it was. Had that fish in a 180-gallon fish tank full of rocks and plants. I tried everything to get that fish out of that tank. He was my arch nemesis for months. not probably a year or so. I never got him out of that tank until that tank actually sprung a leak and busted, and I had to take everything out. And he was a dick too. He would try to bully other fish. I didn't like him. It wasn't just because I wanted him out of the tank, but he would just bully other fish. That was the only fish that I just really didn't like. I was like, all right, I'm done with you, buddy. Outside in Aquatic says, what's a fish you would never own again? That was it. That was it. That would be that fish. Nate Sorensen says, hey LRB, I've got some female bettas I've raised up and have been feeding them live blackworms and flake food to try and get eggs. However, none get to egg buried. Any thought? Flake food and try eggs. However, none get to egg buried. Any thought? Like they don't get like their big bellies going, or is that what you're saying? Like their bellies might not look. There may not be an extreme difference to their belly when it comes to them being ready to breed. So, best bet is to condition them like that, week or two. Shouldn't take more than that. I mean, if you're feeding them good, they should be ready to breed. And see what goes from there. And then after that, once the betta lays out the eggs, because maybe it takes seeing the male to really trigger it too. I don't know how that really works with the bettas, if that helps trigger any kind of ovulation. But I know that's why when you do breed bettas, it's good to have like one in a jar near the other, because I think it is best for them to see each other. It gets those hormones going. Then when they do breed, like they'll lay the eggs and then the dad will put them up in the bubble nest. You got videos if you type in LRB betta breeding. Spencer Sister says, can I pay ahead for the lazuri guppies as well as plants and some shrimp now? Send us an email. We'll work with you. We'll see. Yeah, should be able. I think I got some backed up. Stephen Smith says, will my Odessa barbs get along with my male guppies? That's a gamble. That's a big gamble. So Odessa barb's such a fast, likes to move fish, likes to eat fish. And those guppies have fantails. It's a big gamble. I don't know. Yeah, it would be risky. Even Guppy Fever Mike says can possibly pick the male guppy's tails. That's what I'm thinking. Dean Stevenson says, as far as plants putting oxygen in the water, is that only fully aquatic plants, or will submerged plants do that also? So emerged plants actually can pull more from the atmosphere for really mostly itself, not so much for the water. And as far as like my filterless tanks, the reason why I'm get away with my filterless tanks is not plants. So many people teach and preach that it's the plants. And these are the people who are not learning from experience. These are the people who are saying, like maybe they're learning a little from experience, but they don't really know how it works because they haven't really gone down that route themselves. They have heard it from elsewhere. And then they teach and then try to preach what it is like I'm doing. Like, oh, it's the plants, which it's the microbiology, if anything. And I can do it. Matter of fact, I had some of the nicest tanks without lights, no plants, and lots of fish, and the water was crystal clear. Matter of fact, it makes me wish I could keep a lot of my tanks without lights, which I could. It just doesn't look that great for YouTube. I mean, I could kind of guess it does and doesn't. Also battle with plantitis. So, I mean, I like collectoritis for my plants. So to me, it's like, oh, if I don't have a light over that tank when I could be growing plants in it, it's kind of tough. But I have talked about this like as time went by, but like I feel like I've got to make like these special videos about all this stuff. Or if I don't make these special videos where it's just like me talking about this stuff, it doesn't really go through. Like a few of you guys see it here on the Friday nights. Some of you guys hear it. Some of you guys may not hear it because I'm sure a lot of people watch the Friday night lives here and there, like bits and pieces wherever. That yeah, I hope to get into those sorts of videos sooner than later. I feel like I'm really getting to that point where it's not so much building and more creating content for you guys. Neo Veritas 7 says, "Hey Lucas, I got blue Acara fry and German ram eggs. Was going to set up a grow out tank in a 20-gallon long. Not a lot of space. Can they grow up together?" I think the blue Acara fry would outcompete the German ram eggs at some point. If you could divide them up somehow with like maybe a sponge filter or like a sponge in between or some, they do make special dividers for those tanks. That would be a good option for sure if you just don't have the space. And then Henry Figaro, thank you my brother. I gotta give a huge shout out to Henry. Henry's my man. Like, I know worst comes to worst, like if like I don't get like a lot of hits on a video, my man Henry, he's coming through for me. He's leaving he's leaving a comment. He's got my back. So God bless you, Henry. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat as well. It says thank you for everything you do for the fish community and Lady LRB. Thank you all for your help. Don't forget to take days off, both of you. Well, speaking of which, we've got Father's Day coming up. So big shout out to all you fathers. Happy Father's Day coming up. I am hoping to get some time to spend with, not hoping, I'm going to take the time to spend with my family on Father's Day, so that'll be nice. I do feel like I work a lot, but I am very lucky in how I work because I am able to balance family in between my work, and I'm not like somewhere else for 8 hours, 10 hours a day like I used to be. So I do feel blessed for that. And thank you again, Henry. Much appreciation. Let's see. Neo Veritas says, how do you jumpstart that microbiology? So a lot of it will jumpstart itself through just the water that comes out of your system, wherever. Now, even if it is very sterilized, the pollen, dust, things in the air can get into your tanks as well, which can kick that up. Also, just throwing in like a snail, throwing in some plants, throwing in just a fish, throwing any of those adds microbiology to it too, that all just kind of works off of itself. And nature just finds a way. The essence of microbiology is all around us, in the air, in the water, and in the soil. So it just happens. Like, I don't put special microbiology into any of my tanks. It just happens. Johnny Best says, would neo shrimp be okay in fluvial stratum besides inert substrate? So I'm not a big fan of the stratum myself. I have heard people have issues with it, with shrimp, but I've also heard people keep it shrimp well with it. So that's my honest answer. I don't personally use the fluvial stratum just because I'm not a fan of it. I would wash and rinse it. But if it's an inert substrate, then, you know, you're good. And thank you, Outside and Aquatics, for throwing that out there says Nuri sold out, I think, but Crepifina is still in stock. It is, and I've got a lot of those available right now for while they last. Here, you want me to help you? There you go. Asaya Llewellyn says, any tips on the blue guppies? They are temp acclimated now, and I'm about to go fish bathe them and put them in a tank. Thanks. So I would say just treat them like any other guppy. Like all guppies are the same. Normal temp water for them. They're good. You go from like 68 to 80s to 90s. Of course, like mid 70s are really good. And then, yeah, just fish bass. I mean, I think, you've been around a long time, Asaya, and I think you'll be good with them. You know what to do. No special treatment for them. I know you'll give them a good home. And thank you so much for your order and support again as well. You've been awesome support. Ambient light is a good thing. Yes, indeed, Guppy Fever Mike. Alex Bradbury says, did you inoculate your tanks with your pond water and dirt from the big ones full of swamp puppies outside? Nah. I just had the yard dirt, but I didn't use any like pond water. I don't know. I'd actually rather not use pond water. Because there is some microbiologies from that kind of stuff that you may not want in your aquarium or into your tubs and stuff. They're a little more seasoned. It's actually better to let it just naturally create it itself. Because then there's less extras in there that do have potentials, negative effects. Even though I've never had any issues, and the more that I do this, a lot less fear of like things like that I have. Matter of fact, why I don't even, frogs and dragonfly larvae don't really bother me now either. Now that I know how to handle them, or I understand them better. Not so much me knowing how to handle them or handle myself. Jackson says, do you need to substrate for your surface area for the bacteria? It does help hold the bacteria. Is it absolutely necessary? Not really. Like, it'll be within the water column. It'll be on the tank. It'll find its space somewhere. But it definitely does help to have substrate. Not just only for the bacteria, but really for your fish. Because, or at least paint the bottom of your tank. Because if the fish can see the reflection, it's really stressful on your fish. And or if light comes up from the bottom of it, also stresses your fish. So you do at least want to have like some kind of bottom cover. So for like my killifish that I get, I have these containers, and I use like a green carpet for the bottom of them. And I don't have any special substrate for them or the bacteria. Now I do put guppy grass in there, which does help hold different bacterias and stuff, but it's not entirely necessary, no. And Monica, thank you so much for gifting those memberships. Appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. And to my members, I do need to be doing a live for you guys. Maybe, hopefully, well, I mean, it is Father's Day on Friday. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I was kind of planning for Sunday, but it is Father's Day. I would like to get a live stream in for you guys this weekend at some point. Now, I would like to give you guys a heads up before I do it, too. That way some of you guys have some time to prepare. Sometimes I just whim them out. But thank you for the support, all you members. Appreciate you guys. Big time. Big time. Because really, it's your guys' support that helps all this. Like, really, I would not be any of this without you guys and your support. Like, you guys really are a reverberation of if we will succeed and if we continue to succeed and how we will grow. Memphis Mommy Mars says, for moldy floating plants like dwarf water lettuce, will snails and fish take care of that? Or do we take the moldy part of the plant out? I mean, I would go ahead and take the moldy part of the plant out because it's not helping anything at that point. I don't think it's really going to hurt anything per se. I've never really had any issues with it hurting anything, but always good to take it out because even if it's dying and decaying, it'll feed off, it'll feed your algae or algae potentials. Andy M, yes, unfortunately I can't ship to Canada. They like to, especially like fish. For some reason, that pesky old imaginary line between us just can't get across it. Spinster Sister says, is your trout gudiots from the Greg Sage line, do the females have yellowtails? So, I don't know. I didn't know if like the females and the males, I think they all have the yellowtails, and they are from the Greg Sage line. Vincent says, just in time to say goodnight. Hi, everybody. Well, good to see you in here, Vincent. What time is it? Oh, yeah, we're over an hour mark. God, see, I was about to cut it short there. Now you guys got me forgetting where the time went. See, that's what I love about it. You guys make me forget about the time. So, like, oh, I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys all hanging with me, being here with me on my journey with this, learning with me. Because I know it's so unorthodox from what a lot of people teach and preach. And those who have stayed with me throughout the years and all these, like, different things that most of the internet doesn't realize that, hey, you can do this. Like, I needed that support because there was a lot of people who did quit supporting me just from not knowing, really. But it is what it is. Outside and Aquatic says, does outdoor tubbing increase the potential for parasites in your fish? So I haven't seen any issues yet. Let's stay tuned for more of that. Like, I haven't really had any issues in the past where I was in Indiana. But this is a whole different area down here in wild Florida. And, you know, they will be taken in regard. Like, I haven't had, I think I would see issues throughout time if there was as well. But so far, I haven't seen any, like, oh, there's something going on in there. Like, why is this random dead fish in there and stuff like that. So I think if I'm not seeing that, it's a good sign. T-Shot says, what's the highest temp you would put Taiwan lilies in? What are some plants that can take 82 degrees? Thanks, dude. So, just like fish, it is good to acclimate plants too. Say if it is warmer out, maybe put your plants out at night when it is cooler. And that way they can transfer to the heat better. Besides that, I haven't really tested them outside past, I would say 84. So I think, I mean, they could take 82. But I haven't, like, really tried much past that. Alright, I gotta hop off here. We are over the hour mark. I appreciate you all for hanging out. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Happy Father's Day to all you guys. Glad to hear it, buddy. And Wesley's, I'm sure he's ready to just talk away. Yeah, amazing weekend at that. So, bless you all. Till next time, everybody, have a great weekend. All right. I'll see you on the next one.